Hello, Cancer. This is going to be your April 2019 General Tarot reading. And so, as usual, this month I'm using the Spiral deck, and I'm also using the Gaian Tarot for your clarifiers. I just wanted to say quickly before I get started, there's more of a likelihood you're actually going to hear this than I know that a lot of people shut it off as soon as the reading is over and they don't catch the end credits at the end of my videos. So just wanted to say I recently opened up a Facebook page for the channel, and so on Facebook it's called, again, same thing, Cosmic Vibrations, same black and white photo of me with the fairy wings that's on this channel, so should be easy to find on there. If you would like to join the Facebook page, go ahead and like it. And I thought, I'm not really in a place right now to be able to start doing extra things for the channel just yet. I want to see the channel grow a little bit more and possibly get more prosperous with it so that I actually can create the time to do more. And so in the future, if things go well and the channel continues to grow, I would like to start posting videos that are astrology classes. I actually developed a curriculum all on my own over a period of years, like a decade ago. And so I have them all set up to go. It's just a matter of making time for it, which is hard these days because I have to run around making money to take care of my everyday existence. So I just wanted to thank the people that, Ozzy, it's the wind, buddy. I wanted to thank the people who have donated to the channel, who have liked and subscribed and shared everything. I really appreciate the help. I really appreciate the appreciation. And I've already reached over 1,000 subscribers, so this is another sign for me that I should continue to do this and that this is meant to grow. So, because it is. Sorry, you're on a table that's a little wobbly. Here we go. So I'm going to show you your cards as usual. By the way, if Jason from Focus Intuitive is watching, I know you watch the Cancer videos sometimes, I wanted to tell you that you were dead on with, I forget which one it was, if it was the Sag one or the Scorpio one, but I think you even mentioned something like you're creating a Facebook page or you might need to do that. It's so funny because I created the Facebook page and then I watched the video and you said that. So I just want to let you know that you've been extremely accurate, and I appreciate your readings a lot if you're watching. And if you're not watching, you other people watching may want to check out his channel. He's another tarot reader, and I found his readings to be extremely helpful. So here we go. Ready? Here's your original cards. I'm not going to show you your clarifiers until the time comes. I had an accident with a teapot that exploded on me when I was doing dishes, so I figured I'd make it festive and wear Finding Dory band-aids. So hopefully it's not too distracting. Here we go. Your central experience for April. This is for Cancer rising, sun, and moon. And of course, as always, this may or may not resonate for you. You may want to check out your other two videos. So, you have the Six of Pentacles as your central experience for April. Your challenge, and this is most definitely a challenge, is the Eight of Swords. I pulled a remedy card for this just because this looks difficult, and the remedy card is excellent, so it's not as bad as it seems. What is helping you is strength at the root or core of your being. You have the Eight of Wands. What you're coming away from is the Magician. Your best possible outcome is the Hermit coming up for you in the near future. You have the King of Swords. You right now are the Queen of Swords. You have a lot of swords in here. In your surroundings, you have the Knight of Swords. Your fears are of the Five of Swords. See what I mean? You have a lot of swords in here. And your general outcome is awesome. You have the Three of Pentacles, and with the clarifier, it's even better. So, here we go. The poor Libras, their reading was like an hour long. I don't know how it got to be that much. I'm going to try to be efficient about this instead of rambling too much. I tend to do that. So, your central experience for April. You have the Ten of Earth, otherwise known as the Ten of Pentacles, with the Six of Pentacles. So to me, it seems as though you have worked really hard on cultivating something, whether it's a business, whether it's a way of making money, whether it's just your earthly existence, as in what you have, what you've created physically, tangibly speaking. Or it may even be saying that it's time for some of you to go with an old cycle and to begin a new one as well. But mostly I'm getting that you have poured a lot of your energy and time into something where now it has come about where it's a full-on business now, or it's a full-on existing thing now. And you are starting to be given back to for all of your efforts. So if you have spent a lot of time on something, on building something up to its most stable, manifested form, it may have been that it was a huge investment on your part of where you invested a lot of your time and energy. And now that it's fully up and running or fully manifested, you're starting to see the results. You're starting to see the money rolling in, or you are being given back to by the universe, by other people. Tenfold, I'm getting tenfold. So if things have been slow with getting returns on something that you have poured a lot of your energy and time into, it seems as if it's speeding up where you're finally seeing returns. And not only that, it's a big return I'm getting. This may even be tax returns for some of you, but I am getting that it's, for a lot of you, it could be a business, it could be a talent that you have mastered, it could be something that you've created, tangibly speaking. It could be anything, but I am getting that it's fully existing now, or you have fully put everything into it now. It may even be that for some of you, you have finished off a cycle where now you have gotten an equal exchange or returns on selling something. This could be you've lived in the same house for a long, long time and you've decided it's time to sell your house and get a mobile home and go start traveling the country. In which case you're deciding to sell your home and you get a good penny for it, or you get a good price for your house. And you can use that extra money or that extra energy that you're being given to invest in a totally new cycle for yourself, a new cycle of manifestation. Something is wrapping up and something is beginning, but it seems as if you're getting generosity and equal give and take for what you've put your energy into now, which is excellent to see. Especially if it's been slow in coming or a long period of time that you have invested in this. The returns are finally coming now. So, looks good to me, you guys. So, your challenge, and I'm just going to go ahead and show it with the clarifier to you so you can compare these two. You have the Eight of Swords in with the Builder. The Builder is not a explaining card for the Eight of Swords. It's a remedy card for the Eight of Swords. So the Builder is what you would do to help you with the Eight of Swords, which is your challenge. So what I'm getting here is that occasionally, or a lot, I mean, I'm sure it varies for a lot of you, if this reading even resonates for you. If it does resonate for you, it may be that some of you every now and then have this happen. It may be that some of you are in a full-on locked-in pattern with this. You would know more than me on how often you think this way. But with the Eight of Swords, it's saying that your own thoughts are limiting you. It may be that perhaps because something took so long to grow or something took so long to happen, you have battled at times of that you're never going to get out, or you're never going to have a breakthrough, or you're never going to be able to free yourself in your own mind. You may have moments where you doubt what you're doing, or you think it's fruitless, or it's just old limiting thought patterns, perhaps thought patterns that are negative that you were taught by other people. It could be something that has just happened over the years. And so you're really, I see you as being a real witness to your own thoughts, where you're keeping track of what you're thinking about, or what your thought process is, or what you choose to focus on in your own mind. And you're realizing that you're actually sabotaging yourself without meaning to. It almost feels subconscious to me, where you may have not always been aware that this is happening. But it seems like right when you feel empowered enough to really create what you want, or to do what you want, something steps in that makes you feel like it's not going to happen, or you're not doing it right, or you can't get out of a situation where you feel trapped. Or your own thought processes are trapping you and keeping you from being able to move forward. But I see you as really doing a lot of work on this. You have the Builder, which is otherwise known as the Emperor. And so in order to create stability for yourself, or in order to create what you want, you're being a witness to your own thoughts. And when you catch yourself, like, let's put this in a story that's easy to relate to. So let's say this Builder has a certain amount of money, or has a certain amount of resources that he can work with. He has a vision of what he would like to create or build. And then he slowly, methodically, with patience and hard work, he makes it happen, and he builds it. Perhaps this Builder has always had a dream of building a particular kind of house, of building a cob house that has beautiful etched Ozzy. Okay. It's windy out today, and so he keeps on thinking that it's somebody on the porch, but it's just the wind. So every time he picks up his tools and he's ready to go about doing it, all of a sudden his thoughts start thinking, oh, well, what if I spend too much time doing this instead of making money? I need to make money too, or I need this or that first, or, oh, I wouldn't be able to do that, or maybe this is going to get drawn out way longer than I think. Basically, his mind is tripping him up. But he's being a witness to his thoughts, and when he catches himself thinking that way, he can clap his hands or stop it and replace it with its opposite, as in, I can build this, I can do this, I do have enough to get started. Whatever the negative is on what you can or can't do, or what you can't do, I see you as doing a lot of work on this. You're really replacing it with a feeling of empowerment, or that you can do this. So, yeah, it looks good to me, you guys. And also, when you start to overthink things, or you start to worry, or you start to feel trapped, instead of staying in that place, go do something. The builder is very practical that way. There's always something that needs to be done. You could go water the plants in the garden. You could clean up your environment. You could do a million things. You could pick up a hobby. You could distract yourself with something that needs to be done anyway. You might as well do something. And when you get caught up with what you're doing, your mind goes into a meditative state where it's focusing in on what you're doing rather than your monkey mind taking over and taking you to some places you really don't want to go. And you know that this isn't good for you. So, okay. What is helping you? You have the Magician and you have Strength. Two major arcanas are helping you. It's kind of a big deal, you guys. Seems like you have a lot of help right now. Spiritually speaking, support from others, support from yourself. You're really taking this builder role seriously. Of what can be done. What do you have to work with? But what is helping you is to be strong in yourself. To realize that you know what to do. You know what you want. You're fully capable of doing it. Just stay true to yourself, in other words. And you have it in you to be able to manifest anything, especially with the Magician here. Just believe in yourself. That's what's helping you. You actually feel really good to me. It feels like you're on a roll. Or you feel very confident. You feel very strong. You feel like you're radiating creativity. And the Magician card, it's really cool. He still has the infinity symbol above his head. And he has the 4 tools. On a rock, he has a seashell for water. He has a candle for fire. He has a feather for air. And he has a stone for earth. He has all the 4 elements. That looks like an altar to me, where he set up the altar, he lit the fire, the stage is set, and now he can just be on a roll and be inspired and in a good flow with his own personal magic. And I see this as being what's helping you, is to create a sacred space that helps you to focus on what you're trying to do, but then to just give in to it. It seems like it's not hard for you to do what you want to do. You just need to trust it. You need to be strong yet gentle about where you're at and what you want. Actually, both of these, Lady Strength and the Magician, both have the infinity symbol above their heads. You seem really balanced to me. You seem like you're on a roll and you know what you're doing. And really, the magic is not difficult. The magic is really easy. It seems to me that you're giving into the magic, or you're allowing it to flow, and all you have to do is surrender. I don't know how else to put it for you. But yeah, it looks like you're doing pretty good as what's helping you. This can help you take care of this problem. No problem. No problem. This is a minor arcana card. This is nothing. This is just your monkey mind. You can easily overcome this monkey mind thing. And it seems like you know that things are happening because you've been given signs, and this makes you feel more confident. So at your root, you have the 8 of Wands in with the 4 of air. And it seems to me as if you have been nesting, or you have been hatching your eggs or warming up your eggs. They're going to crack open and become baby birds any day now. You have put a lot of your patient care into your intentions of what you would like to see manifested. I'm looking at the 4 of air here. And it seems as if when they hatch, or because you have done a lot of work on stabilizing your mind with the Four of Air here, it seems like you've gotten really focused, or you've gotten very meditative about finding inner peace or peace of mind, or a feeling of a stability in your own mind. Maybe perhaps you have struggled with instability in your mind, where you feel stable in your mind and then all of a sudden you backtrack a little bit and you feel confused all over again or trapped all over again. But it seems as though, because this is a 4 major arcana, the builder, this 4 of air is connected to the builder here, and this is your remedy on how to handle that. It seems as if you have poured a lot of your focus into maintaining mental stability and staying calm and balanced no matter what happens. And also to nurture your little eggs, to realize that these eggs are going to become something, and to be patient. You've been very patient with this. It seems to me with the Eight of Wands here that the winds of change are blowing all of a sudden in your life, and you're starting to see movement happen. If things were a little too still, things weren't happening that much outwardly. There's a lot going on inside those eggs, but you can't see it from the outside. It seems as if they're hatching very quickly, or things are happening all of a sudden very quickly that require you to be patient, but also to be nimble on your toes for whatever is coming your way. Seems as if something that you have been nurturing, ideas that you've been nurturing, or ideas that you are working on bringing into form, have a very quick response, a very positive, quick response. There may be a lot of opportunities, a lot of choices, a lot of things headed your way. You may have even decided to leave what you've been hatching for a little bit so you can go explore. I'm sure that mother birds get really tired of sitting on those eggs day after day all the time. Obviously, they have to have a lot of patience to do that, and they want their young to survive. But here I'm kind of getting you leaving the nest for a little bit. You may just get a cabin fever or something where you need to get out more, or you need to go explore a little bit in order to come back to yourself. And it's perfectly fine for you to do that. Your eggs are still going to hatch if you take off for a little bit. But the way that the wands are going toward, they're curving and going towards the eggs, it seems as if attention has been drawn to these eggs, or these things that are about to arrive. There's new messages headed your way. Interesting. Okay. Okay, that's not too bad. I'll try to speed it up a little bit. And here's a second magician. This is what you're coming from. Again, I'm kind of getting a mirroring of that monkey mind remedy, is that in the recent past, you've been delving deep in your emotional waters, thinking about, okay, what is it in me that makes me feel like I can't be a magician? That's what it looks like to me. The way that this woman or person is looking at the magician, I can almost hear her thoughts where she's saying, okay, how can I become a magician? Why can't I be a magician? What is getting in the way that's making me feel like I can't do this? What is making, and this is emotional here because it's water. So this is something that's not just going on in your mental body with how you think, but it's ultimately that's coming from emotions. And it looks like you have been doing some really deep inner searching on where do these feelings come from? What makes you feel that way, like you can't be the magician? Because it seems like this person is a little bit not disappointed, but not happy or not content. Something's in the way for her, where she's thinking really deep or feeling very deeply, thinking very deeply, saying, you know, I wish I could be like the magician, but what is it that makes me feel like I can't be the magician? It looks like you figured it out. It looks like you figured that out, or you figured out that it's really in your emotions and your thoughts. It's not actually in reality. And if you can move through this and get through whatever is in the way, you can become the magician. And you had this revelation recently, or you've been doing some deep inner searching on where these things come from within yourself. Because you have the magician as what's helping you now, along with strength. And so it seems like you figured it out, or you figured out how to handle that, or how to deal with that, or how to move through that. And your best possible outcome, two major arcanas together. Let's see, you've got seven major arcanas in here. It seems to me that you're having a breakthrough in April, and a lot is all of a sudden happening now because you've had this breakthrough, or because it's the right time. You have two tens in here, by the way. No, I'm sorry, you have three tens in here. You have the 10 of earth, the 10 of air, and the 10 of cups. Seems like things are happening now because it's the right time. And your best possible outcome says that you've received not only clarity and understanding, but extreme clarity and understanding. This isn't like a small breakthrough here. This is a huge breakthrough. The Hermit is deep inner searching, deep inner knowing, seeking clarity, seeking simplifying, looking at things from a greater perspective in order to see the overall patterns or overall messages in things. The answers are within yourself. And you may need to take some time out for a little bit just to do some inner searching. But to me, it seems as if your best possible outcome is you find complete clarity where it all makes sense now. It all makes sense now. You realize why things have been the way that they have been, because they've been leading up to this moment. Whatever you were confused about, you are no longer confused about. It's like you have a huge breakthrough where you have a greater understanding of things that perhaps you haven't really ever had this way before. Where you realize the connections between things that seemed separate before, but now you're realizing that they're not separate. This almost seems like enlightenment here, or something akin to that, where it all makes sense. It's a grand realization that will enable you to be able to move forward. And something that you thought wasn't possible, you fully comprehend is completely possible, which is amazing to see. You're waking up. You're seeing things for what they are, and things may be way better than you thought they were. That's your best possible outcome, you guys. So coming up for you, you have the 10 of air, another 10, in with the King of Swords. And I'm getting two different things for this. We could look at the King of Swords here as making a major decision. And sort of like if you could imagine a judge, instead of slamming down a gavel, of slamming down a sword. You know, you think about things, and then you take your sword and you say, okay, I'm going to do it now. And with the 10 of air, you know, this could be looked at two different ways, but both make complete sense, and in a way it doesn't really matter which one it is. You could look at these 10 birds here as being, let's say that they're Canadian geese. And they're either, because Canadian geese fly in this formation, I'm sure that there are other species of birds that fly this way together too, but this automatically makes me think of geese. And also the way that they call while they're flying, they honk while they're flying, which is kind of reminding me of awakening here with the birds flying through the air. Obviously, if you're asleep in a hammock outside in your garden and a bunch of geese fly by that are honking, they're going to wake you up. It's almost like a trumpet. But you could say that these Canadian geese are either leaving the south to go back up north again, or they're leaving the north to go back south again. It's that changing time where a cycle has ended and a new cycle is beginning. It's all part of the big giant cycle here. But it seems as if you have come a long way with some kind of a mental cycle where it's time for change now. It's time to switch direction, or it's time to begin a new journey because you have just completed a journey. You may even very well be flying in an airplane or going someplace literally in order to go to a convention or a meeting, a council, where you're going to meet other people and exchange ideas to come up with some kind of a solution to something, or to awaken your mind more or learn more. There's more knowledge out there for you to learn or to teach. But it seems as if in the near future you're making a concrete decision to go in a particular direction, and possibly with other people as well, because this is a group of geese. This isn't one goose. This is a whole bunch of geese that are flying together. It may be that you have found like-minded people, or people that inspire you, or where you can exchange ideas and you come up with solutions for things or plans for things that you would have never been able to come up on your own on your own. It seems as if you know where you're going and you've made you've made a major decision to go in that direction, or to begin a new cycle and wrap up an old one. So, looks pretty amazing, you guys. Again, it's another mirroring of the same sort of thing. You right now have the 9 of air in with the Queen of Swords. These are double swords together, and these are double swords. And because you have you have so many swords in here, you've got a lot changing with your mind, especially with that awakening card up at the top. Your mind is significantly changing for the better. So, but it does take work on your part, but this is work you can do. And the 9 of air here is worry, anxiety, stress, not sure. Actually, this is another, or I'm sorry, this is the 9 of air, not the 8 of swords. So, but it seems as if you've made a concentrated effort to knock it off when you catch yourself doing that. When you start to get anxious, when you start to get worried, when you start to think about worst case scenarios or what bad things could happen, it looks as if you knock it off, where you talk to yourself and say, hey, knock it off, don't do that. That's not good. That's not going to help anything. If anything, it's a waste of your energy. And so it seems like you're still struggling with this every now and then of starting to worry or starting to get trapped in your own mind of what could go wrong. But it seems like you're really being a witness to your own thoughts this month. And you're really deciding to move forward. And so you are catching yourself at those moments and then talking yourself out of it. Pretty amazing, really. You may even serve as a counselor for others that are having to deal with anxiety or worry or stress, where you can be a good force for other people and a good listening ear for them and a good giver of advice. Whether or not they take your advice is up to them, but at least you feel as if you're trying to help or you're helping in some way. Or some kind of a decision that you were worried about ends up to be just fine. So try not to worry. In your surroundings, you have the Knight of Swords and the Seeker, otherwise known as the Fool. And I'm sorry, you guys. This looks like this woman is walking away from a very difficult person. This is possibly somebody who is just almost impossible to communicate with. Either that or you're moving on from being that person who is constantly feeling frustrated, like you have to raise your voice in order to be heard, or you're constantly not heard by others. This could be internal mental struggle. This could also, I'm getting for a lot of you, this is a difficult person that you have tried and tried and tried to communicate with, but they just don't ever seem to settle down or get calm. They're always agitated about something or focusing on the difficulties in things, or it seems as if you have tried, but you've come to a point now where you realize, you know what, I just need to get away from this person. I've done everything that I could try to do in this situation, and they just don't ever seem to be content, or they just don't ever seem to be peaceful. They're always struggling all the time. And you've realized you are done with that. You have enough of your own internal mental struggle going on. You can't really deal with it consistently from someone, because then it's going on outside of yourself and within yourself. And if you're moving on, where you're changing mentally and you're catching yourself in your own trip ups with your own mind, you most definitely want to stay away from that in your outer world too. So, but it doesn't seem like maybe at one point you were angry at this person, or you got angry back, or you were just angry about the situation in general, but it looks as if you've let go of all that. And now you've turned your back on it, where you're looking towards the horizon now. You look a lot more relaxed and hopeful about the future, where it's behind you now. It no longer really affects you anymore. It almost seems to me as if this Knight of Swords is trying to get her to engage. Maybe he's confused because she used to engage back, but now she's given up on it, and he's realizing the fact that she's given up on him or on the struggle, and he has nothing to really fight with anymore. And, you know, I'm just saying he or she because of the images. These don't have to be any particular gender. So yeah, it looks as if you're moving on from conflict or from difficulty with communication with someone. And if it couldn't be worked out, then you fully have turned your back on it, and it no longer is affecting you anymore. Okay. So what is hindering you, or what is your fear? I'm sorry, fear and hopes. Your fears of more conflict, especially with other people or with communication. This may just be an old lingering feeling of betrayal, or that things didn't work out the way that you wanted them to, or just even feelings of resentment for how you have been treated badly by other people. This may still be happening. This may be long gone, but it's still a fear of yours that this is going to come back again, or you're going to be drawn back to this sort of a situation again. But your hope is another 10, the 10 of Cups. The only 10 that you're lacking in here is the 10 of Wands. Your hope is for happiness. Your hope is for a good outcome. Your hope is for a good harvest. Your hope is that that old cycle is over and you're on to a much more joyful, happy, peaceful future that makes you feel blessed. Or that you will have a good outcome to all of this. And your general outcome, how am I doing on time? Oh, way better than the Libra video. You have the Three of Pentacles and the Explorer of Water, otherwise known as the Knight of Cups. I got something really specific with this, which is that if you have chosen to put your talents out there where other people can see it, you are going to have an immediate increase in money, opportunities, offers, appreciation, and things are taking off now. Like especially right now, with this Explorer of Water, I've never surfed before, so I don't really know, but I can imagine things pretty good. And when I imagine myself surfing, you imagine, you're lying down on your board, you're paddling with your hands to build up momentum and wait for the right wave. And then the minute you start to catch a wave, you stand up and you get ready for the surge, because there's the slow build up. The slow build up of the wave, and then right at the right moment, the wave takes off and you're speeding, you are flying. This is reminding me of this. What you have put your energy into, your thoughts into, your prayers into, what you've wanted to see come about this whole time, it's starting to take off. The wave is getting quicker. The wave is getting more powerful. You're riding the wave and it's speeding everything up. It's making you fly forward. And there's something about more money, more prosperity. If you have been putting your talents out there where other people can see it, all of a sudden there's a huge wave of forward motion that's making things speed up in a really good way. But you have to be on your toes. You have to be on your toes. You have to be balanced, which is reminding me of this with the infinity symbols of balance above both of them. What's helping you is to be balanced and believe in what you can do, because you're about to fly with the wave. He's going so fast with that wave that the dolphin wanted to come and join him too, because it looked like a lot of fun. The universe is working in your favor. If you've been pouring a lot of your energy into something and it's been slow, it's not slow anymore as your general outcome here. And the Explorer of Water is also about following your heart, or doing what you love. Following what you love to do. Following your own inspiration. This Explorer of Water is surfing because he loves to surf. And because he loves to surf, he probably spends a lot of his time doing it. And as long as you're following your heart and you're doing what you love, the universe is backing you up, and you're about to see a huge surge of growth go on. If things have been slow before, they're not slow anymore. It's the right time for it. So, interesting. It could even be that for some of you, you meet someone who has similar interests or talents as you, and you hit it off too, because sometimes the Knight of Cups can be new love, or a romantic gesture, or an invitation towards you by someone who has a good heart. So don't be afraid to take risks. You can totally do this. So hopefully that helped or resonated for you. And I'll see you guys soon for your love readings, and then in the mid-month, little shorties of mystery readings for you. Take care, you guys. Many, many blessings to you.